Once upon a time, before humans roamed the earth, the gods ruled over creation with vast and unknowable powers. Among them was Prometheus, a titan with a heart as bold as his mind was sharp. While most of the gods preferred to live above humanity, seeing mortals as mere playthings, Prometheus was different. He looked down upon the empty earth and saw a world lacking something vital, a species capable of both reason and passion, capable of love, ambition and curiosity. The thought became an obsession. He longed to create beings who would reflect the best and boldest parts of life itself. One day, he approached Zeus with an idea. Father of gods, the world is magnificent, teeming with creatures that hunt, swim and fly, but none can see it as we do. Let me make beings in a form that resembles our own, capable of wisdom, laughter and wonder. Zeus, skeptical and wary of Prometheus's creative impulses, narrowed his gaze. And what would be their purpose, Prometheus? What value could they bring to our world that we do not already have? Prometheus thought for a moment. They would bring admiration to life itself. They would learn, build and shape the world in ways we cannot foresee. In time, they might even grow to know themselves and the nature of the cosmos. But Zeus, his mind full of the history of rebellions and revolts, shook his head. Creatures capable of such things would one day threaten us. Leave the earth to the animals, Prometheus. It is safer that way. Disheartened but unyielding, Prometheus decided to take matters into his own hands. Quietly he descended from Olympus under the cover of night and found a desolate spot on earth, a place untouched by the gods. He gathered clay from the banks of a winding river, mixing it with a few drops of his own ichor, the divine blood of a titan. With every handful of earth and every drop of ichor, he shaped and sculpted the first humans, moulding them in the god's own likeness. He gave them eyes to see, hands to craft, and minds to dream. For days the clay figures lay lifeless, beautifully formed yet cold and unresponsive. Prometheus realized he had yet to give them the spark that would truly make them come alive. The fire of knowledge and spirit, a gift from Olympus itself. This time he climbed Mount Olympus again, but his journey was more treacherous, for he intended to steal the fire itself, hidden within Zeus's great hearth. Knowing the gods would notice immediately, he took a single glowing ember and tucked it into a hollowed-out reed, sprinting back to his creations as dawn began to break. Back on Earth, Prometheus gently placed the ember into the heart of each clay figure. One by one the spark took, and a light flickered in their eyes. Soon the first humans stood before him, fragile yet radiant, as though they were made of stars and earth combined. They looked around, bewildered and filled with wonder, their minds already stirring with questions. At that moment, Prometheus felt a mixture of pride and fear. He knew that Zeus would be furious when he discovered what had been done. But seeing the humans marvel at the world, learning and exploring with every passing moment, made every risk worthwhile. But when Zeus finally discovered the new beings Prometheus had created, and the fire Prometheus had stolen to animate them, his anger was beyond description. He summoned the other gods and devised a terrible punishment for the defiant Titan. Prometheus would be chained to a rock on a distant mountaintop, where each day an eagle would come to tear at his flesh and consume his liver, only for it to regrow every night. However, even as he endured the relentless torment, Prometheus found solace in his defiance. The humans, his children, now had the gift of fire, the spark of knowledge, of creation and of rebellion. And in their distant future, Prometheus saw that they would one day rise above their suffering, striving for wisdom, justice and beauty. They would make mistakes, yes, but they would also grow in ways even the gods could not foresee. And so, bound by his chains, Prometheus knew his suffering was not in vain. And in time, the myth said, a hero would come to free Prometheus from his chains. But until that day, he watched his creations from afar, the silent guardian of humankind, bound yet unbroken.